Good morning, brothers and sisters. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. It is Monday, and I pray that all things are going well on this holiday Monday. I want to invite you this morning for our morning meditation as we're camped around the Bible, and we're probably sitting and having our coffee this morning, and kids are still asleep. Maybe the spouse is still asleep, but you're at work, you're awake and ready to go. So join me this morning in the book of James. The half-brother of Jesus gives us some lessons in faith and some lessons in asking questions of God. So James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. I'm reading from the NLT Bible this morning. Listen, if you need wisdom, ask our God. He gives generously to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. This morning, I just want to share with you for a few moments these words. Get off the fence, Christian. Get off the fence. Have you ever straddled the fence? Think about it for a moment. I believe you have. I know I have. I have straddled the fence. Those times when we have asked God one thing to do stuff, with one eye on God, one eye on our problem, one eye on God, one eye on the world. And the Bible teaches us in principle today that God does not respond when we don't have total loyalty in what we ask. Don't be double-minded. Don't straddle the fence. Don't have split vision. And in the times of challenges like we face today, it's always easy to become double-minded. It's always easy to straddle the fence between your problem and between trusting God, whether he will or won't do it. Sometimes it's the waves of our problem, the waves of the sea, the winds blowing and the challenges that you and I face. Sometimes it may be financial. Sometimes it may be the loss of a loved one. Other times it could be a relational fallout. Sometimes it's the silence of God and we're not hearing from him and we don't know what to do. The Bible teaches us, James says, to go to God unwavering. He says, he who comes to God must come unwavering faith with total loyalty, trusting God to do what we ask in Jesus' name. He said, ask in faith. Why? Because he said unwavering faith is necessary to get God's attention. Listen to what Paul says in Philippians 4:9. He says, and my God shall supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory, but we ask in faith. Don't you remember yesterday's message when I said, Jesus said in Matthew, ask and you shall receive, knock and doors will be open, seek and you will find, but all of it is when the servant asks in faith of the master. God doesn't just give us problems to give us problems. Sometimes I think we look at God in heaven looking down on us, and why is God heaven? Is because God is the big old creator of the universe and he's just giving me problems. God does not operate like that. But our problems, our challenges are to draw us closer to God. Remember, when you and I have challenges, isn't it always a time that we seek God out? Sometimes it's for our guidance. Sometimes it's for our faith. All the time, it's for us to learn how to have dependency on our God. Listen, James teaches us some things today. I think we should say, Jesus, help me and teach me not to possess a wavering spirit. Because we learn today that a wavering spirit God does not respond to. He wants us to ask, believing that he will, knowing that he can. Teach me, Jesus, to surrender my will by letting go and releasing my agenda to the Master's hand. We still have to learn in this season that we're in to let go and to trust God. And if we're willing to let go and trust God, we're going to see the miracle of what God can do. Do you remember Elijah? And he prayed in faith, seeking and trusting God, and it didn't rain for 3.5 years. Do you remember Elijah? That he came back 3.5 years later, and he prayed, and the rain came back to the land, and Israel repented. Do you remember the Apostle Paul? He was praying on a stormy sea, and God showed up and said, Paul, you nor none of the men with you will perish. Trust me. I promise you, I will get you through this. Don't waver. Maybe we need to ask this. Teach me, Jesus, where I see doubt, place hope and trust to understand your wisdom. In other words, sometimes we have to wait on God. God may not immediately respond to us, but in the waiting, he may be teaching us something. Or teach me, Jesus, when I'm weak, when I'm discouraged, to just have mustard seed faith. Mustard seed faith, Jesus said, can move mountains. So I want to challenge you today. Stop being wavering in your asking. Ask God in faith. Trust him in faith. He will respond in faith. God bless you.